If you read Easy Peasy, you probably came back to porn at least, if not once, many times, right? And you gotta be honest, right? Was it kind of hard actually to, instead of trying to do the NoFap streets, you did go against a monster? I mean, to be honest, it's harder to go against a monster than just like going against a number of days. I mean, both are false and both are ideas that like is not gonna make you successful when it comes to quitting porn. But this idea that you have a monster and that on top of that you have a drug addiction and on top of that you have withdrawals and on top of that you have all of those things just for a video on your phone. The point I'm gonna try to bring in this video, that's one of the most important points that is gonna be in this video, alongside other points that I'm gonna present, is that porn is literally something on your screen, okay? It's literally just something on your screen. It's a video on your screen. Do you watch movies? Yes, okay. Movies is literally a movie on your screen, right? Video games, I just played video games for the first time in like so long, in many years. Maybe I played like, I was playing like once every 2 years, right? And yeah, I mean, it's just a video game, right? If I think of watching a YouTube video, I just think it's a YouTube video. But the problem comes the moment you're like, oh, but that video, no, I mean, that video is so special, man. The moment you start giving it so much personal meaning that it becomes something that you feel like you need to do. And then you say, oh no, baby, it's a monster I'm fighting. Makes no sense. Because that's what Easy Peasy is flawed for, because it doesn't target that, right? Even though Easy Peasy has good points about brainwashing, it has good points about, porn, not relieving your stress, whatever, it still promotes ideas that are outdated because it uses the book of Adam's car for smoking, which is way different than porn. Like porn and smoking, I mean, smoking, you literally getting it inside of your body. There's toxins, there's all of those things, and it tastes disgusting. Now for porn, I mean, in masturbation, it's literally linked to like your sexual organs, and it's way different. And it's all based on a video that you're looking with your own eyes, and you're not looking at a cigarette, you're literally smoking a cigarette, right? So like the question comes, why do we give porn so much personal meaning, right? Because Easy Peasy doesn't talk about this. We look at porn not for just a video of two people having sex, which it could be interesting to see, I guess, or it could be something you'd be curious to see. But we look at it from the perspective that it's going to relieve your stress, that it's going to make you feel euphoric, and it's going to make you feel love, right? It's going to make you feel like you're just, someone else is giving you love because, oh, she's masturbating, oh, she's having sex, right? And it's making you feel, that you're giving so much personal meaning that you feel so much whilst you're watching, right? It's just a fantasy. You're literally watching the video, right? This is one thing I say to my students. It's like, you don't watch the video just for the video, obviously, okay? You watch the video for the fantasy, right? You try to like feed your own fantasy. What I mean by fantasy is, for example, if you've been someone that, let's say, for example, never been in a relationship, okay, that literally wants to be loved, for example, right? So I'll just give a personal example so you guys understand. When I was young, right, I never ever got the attention from like a single girl, right? Yeah, maybe sometimes like one girl every 2 years would kind of talk to me out of like being nice, but no girl would like kind of go to me, right? No girl would give me attention, no girl would want of me, no girl would find me attractive. I was just a loser. I was just playing video games all day and I was doing nothing with my life. I was getting bullied, all of those things, right? And so my fantasy kind of became the kind of want to be loved and get attention from girls, right? Because yes, obviously there was like one or two girls that did give me attention actually, right? And just feeling that, and just like feeling whatever, you can say love, or even not feeling it consistently, was something that was so like, I wanted it so bad that I wanted to feel, basically, right? Because imagine you want love your whole life and you're like, the only way I can get love is by getting a partner. Imagine that's your belief. And then porn comes in and tells you, if you watch porn, you're gonna get that same love, man. And so what happened is I started associating the videos of threesomes, so like two girls and one guy, and specifically because I was shy, I was like, because I'm shy, the videos where it's like the guy is shy and then two girls comes to him and then they give him attention, they give him sex, whatever, they give him love. That was the kind of videos that I was literally my preferred genre of video, right? Because that was personal meaning to me. I was like, man, this is love, this is attention, right? And the reality is, the video obviously cannot give you that. I mean, can an iPhone, is an iPhone made to send you love to you? Is it made to send you attention? Is it made to send you pleasure? No, it's just you. I mean, it's your fantasy, okay? When you watch porn, that's the thing EasyPeasy to tell you. When you watch porn, you're not thinking of the video, you're thinking of your own fantasy. You're like, oh my God, what if this happens to me, right? What if I see in this video happens to me and I'm doing the same thing? You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna feel so loved. It's the same thing as visualization, okay? When you think about a goal that matters to you so much, it's like you start feeling that kind of like happiness, right? As if you already achieved it. And it's not to say that you're literally achieving sex whilst you're thinking of it, but it's more so that you're literally just in your mind thinking that this is happening to you, and you're like, oh my God, this feels so good. And that's what creates the feeling. It's not porn, it's not masturbation, it's not any of those things. It's not anything physical. It's not the literally pixels on a screen. It's not you touching your body in different ways. It's just your own mind that is fantasizing over that idea. That for me, for example, it was being shy, and then two girls come to me and they're like, they forced me to have sex, whatever, right? That was my fantasy. That was my fantasy. Because for me, that fantasy meant that I was getting loved, that I was getting attention, that I was basically getting validation, which is literally what I wanted, right? And I'm telling you this, I'm not gonna hide anything. This is literally what I wanted. It was like my fantasy. I don't care if some people I know watch these videos, because everyone has their own fantasy, right? I talk with my students. I had one student that joined recently, and obviously I'm not gonna tell their names out of privacy, but he said to me that he would only watch porn that would not go beyond what he deems outside of his religious beliefs, right? Obviously you think, oh, but why does he watch porn if he has religious beliefs? But he literally didn't want to go beyond that, because it's just a fantasy, right? We choose based on what we prefer. And if for me, I want to get love, then I'm gonna watch videos that I think is gonna give me love, okay? But the truth is, porn, masturbation doesn't do any of that. It's just your own mind. Okay, so what we gotta understand is we gotta kind of like detach the personal meaning that we put on porn. It's like, imagine this is porn, right? Imagine this video, I mean, this iPhone is porn. And on this exact device, right, if you start saying like, let's say it's a video, if you start putting like all of this like kind of value to it, you're like, oh, this, it makes me feel love, it gives me a lot of pleasure, it feels like euphoria. I mean, it gives me a sexual relief, and because I cannot have sex, I have sex with this, right? Or it gives me a relief from stress, it gives me relief from pain, it just makes me feel better. It just even if it's for a few seconds and I feel worse afterwards, I still feel on top of the world when I watch it. It's like the best experience on earth. Now, it's not just a video with a screen that, imagine you take a kid, it would just be like, okay, this is a video, why you watch, what is this, right? Like, why are you showing me this, right? They're not gonna be like, oh my God, this is so much pleasure. You're gonna be like, disgusted, right? That's what happens with drugs. People take drugs, and that's his based on studies. People take drugs for the first time, they don't like it in studies. They don't like it. Out of 150 young males that tried opiates for the first time, only 3 wanted to take opiates again. The rest didn't like it. Thought it was weird. They did a study on Tribe. They gave him candies because everyone thinks that sugar equals pleasure, because it's linked to your survival. You need sugar to survive. They gave him candies filled with sugar. They didn't like it. They thought it tasted weird. So what I'm trying to get to, okay, is that if you kind of like remove all of that personal meaning that you give to porn, you don't think, oh my God, this is the most euphoric thing on earth. This is the thing that's going to relieve all of my life problems for a few seconds. This is the thing that, I'm going to feel so good for like the next 5 minutes of doing it. But, I want to do this so I can escape life. It's going to make me feel love, and I don't have love. It's going to make me feel validated. It's going to make me feel like I have attention. It's going to make me feel masculine. It's going to make me feel like I have testosterone. if you now just put all of this, it's like, it's not a, you know how like there's a disco ball, and if you remove all of this, like these fancy cubes around it, all you see is a white ball. It's just a white ball. So it's the same thing. You've just been putting like all of these shiny objects on the white ball. Now it becomes a disco ball. You're like, wow, this is the best thing on earth. Look, this is a disco ball. But it's like, if you just remove it, it's just a normal ball, right? It's not a disco ball, which is so special. You know, it's the same thing here. You've been putting all of that around porn and masturbation, when in reality, there's nothing special to it. And also, most people quit. If the success rate when it comes to quitting drugs is above 90%, based on research, you really think that that people can't quit porn? Substances are literally ingested inside of the body. They're literally creating a they have withdrawals, not withdrawals as in like they force you to take it again, but they have withdrawals as in there's so much toxins sometimes that creates side effects, physical side effects. Porn has nothing of that, because you're just watching something, just like you're scrolling on TikTok. That's what you need to understand, okay? Most people scroll on Instagram and TikTok, and then what they say, you know what, I'm gonna delete my app and never go back for like 6 months, right? Or never go back ever again, or don't even scroll, whatever, right? People watch movies all of their lives, they watch anime, then one day they're like, you know what, I'm gonna stop watching these movies, I'm gonna stop watching this anime because instead I wanna live life. It can be that simple. But if you believe that, oh no, you have a drug addiction, and that you have withdrawals, and that you have a big monster fighting you with swords, and you don't even know if there's the monster inside of you, there's nothing to prove it, it's all a metaphor. Now what are you doing? Like, you're just hurting yourself. You're fighting against a monster? I mean, so you're telling me that you're fighting against yourself because there's no monster. So if you're only fighting against yourself, obviously it's gonna be hard, because who's the enemy? You're literally making yourself the enemy, and you're fighting yourself, so you're gonna hurt yourself, which means that you're gonna go back to porn, go back to masturbation. You're not gonna think properly. You're not gonna be able to reason how easy it is to actually quit. Okay, this is what you need to understand, guys. It's really simple to quit. Don't overcomplicate it. Anyways, Samir, and I'm out. Go down the first link below in the description. Book a call with me. I'll coach you one-on-one so that you can quit forever.